There's something different going on with these brushes here. Like, they did something with their bristles, guys. Hi, welcome back into my channel. Today I am going to do a real casual, chatty get ready with me. Today I am going to be playing with some new and old makeup, lots of new makeup actually. I'm going to play with lots and lots of new things. I'm really excited, but one of my main things that I'm super excited to be testing out today is the brand new Sephora brush collection set. This is the total brush collection set. This one retailed for $60 and I'm super excited about it. This is how the package came. I have already washed and dried the brushes. I just put them back in the container so that you could see what it looks like when it arrived. So it comes in this really, really nice makeup bag. I will have all the information that Sephora puts on the website about these brushes down below in the description box. They feel really, really soft. You may have seen my other video talking about the holiday brush collection set that I got. And this beautiful brush wasn't part of that set. I bought that separately. Sorry, I dropped a brush and I had to get it. Anyways, yeah, I bought that brush separately because I really, really like these brushes. And when the last Sephora sale hit, I really wanted to add this big, beautiful, they have it as the bronzer brush, this big, beautiful brush to my collection. I don't use it as a bronzer brush. It is literally like the size of my face almost, okay? So I can't use this for bronzer. It would take up my whole head. But I love this for all over powder. It's so soft and fluffy and beautifully dense. I absolutely love it. It does a great job at setting my face. Anyway, this is the brush set here that I reviewed this last December when the holiday set came out. This one has the super, super sparkly handles. But this new set does not have sparkly handles and they are very short. It's a much shorter ferrule compared to the, this is what the makeup bag looks like all by itself. The ferrule is really short compared to the other Pro brushes, as you can see. So they are a lot shorter for people that don't like long brushes. I personally prefer a longer brush. That's just how I learned to do makeup was on longer brushes, and I really like it. But I can appreciate that not everybody likes a long handle. So let me get these brushes out of the box so that I can show you what they look like in my hand and compare them side by side. And then we'll get into the demo portion of this. I've never used these brushes before, so this is going to be full first impressions with you today. I'm really excited to check these out. Let me get these pulled out of the box. Oh, one thing that I really appreciate is that they created like a little shelf, like a divot where you can not smush this brush, and then it keeps it really steady in the container. And that way the bottom of the brow brush isn't butted up against the bottom of the makeup bag in shipping, and it doesn't get messed up or whatever. But these brushes are so, so soft and they feel so nice. They feel a little bit weighted. Yeah, the other brushes feel very, very lightweight, very airy. These have just a little bit of a heft, so they feel really nice and like sturdy. I prefer a little bit of weight in my brushes. I don't want them to be completely lightweight and airy, but I can appreciate that, especially for makeup artists, you want a lightweight brush because you're doing makeup all day long. Your hands get tired. So, all right. So it comes in this little package here, and here on the back, it's got all the information about each of the brushes. So let me give you a moment to focus on that. Sorry that my hands are shaking. Anyway, So here are the beautiful brushes. I really, really like them. They're so fun and pretty, and they've got this really beautiful like lime green accent that matches the zipper pull on the bag, and it just makes them feel really modern and like, you know, current and clean, kind of like in line with the like whole clean movement. I don't know, it just gives that impression, but it still keeps the black and white of the Sephora. So I really, really like the way that they look. They look so sleek and modern, and they feel really nice and weighty. I'm really excited to give these a go today. I'm gonna put the brow brush off to the side since it is a double-ended brush. I would keep this in my drawer laying down anyways with my brow products. So that's how I'll store that one. That way the brow end doesn't get messed up. But I will say that the other Sephora brush that comes in the sparkly set or the plain handle, if you don't get it in the holiday set, it's the same brush though, style-wise. This one here is really nice. I love the spoolie a lot, so I'm really curious to see this one. And this one already comes bent so that you don't have to think to bend it. Excuse me. This one comes already bent, so you don't have to like try to come up with the idea to bend it yourself. Not a lot of people want to mess with their brushes and like, you know, feel confident enough to, confident isn't really the word, but feel bold enough to like bend their spoolie. I have seen a lot of people do that, but I haven't personally ever bent one myself either. So I like that this one comes already bent so that I don't have to debate myself as to whether or not I want to bend my spoolie. And then my layers are itching my nose, sorry. Anyways, and so then now if you do have both of the Sephora Pro spoolie brushes, now you have an option as to whether you want the straight or the curved one. So that's kind of cool. But okay, this one here is called, this is the 01 foundation brush. Okay. And let me compare it with their other foundation brush. So this is the foundation brush that comes in the other set. This is what it looks like. And you can see that there is a big, big difference in the size. The angle is kind of, you know, similar, but this brush here does not seem very dense. So I don't know if it's gonna maybe cause streaks in your foundation or if maybe it would be better for powder, like a powder foundation application. But no, I don't really think so. I don't know. This says foundation, but I might like this for blush maybe. I don't know. We'll see. I'm going to check it out for foundation, just, you know, since that's what they recommend. But so here is the new powder brush. This is the 03 powder, and here is the brush that they put in there as their powder brush in the other set. And I do feel like they're basically the same brush. So for me personally, I don't like a really small detailed powder like a lot of people do. I like a big fluffy powder brush like this. So, you know, I don't think any of these other brushes are going to replace this one for me personally in my repertoire for powder, but I do really, really like this kind of a brush for bronzer. It's perfect for me for bronzer, and that's how I use this one, especially cream bronzer like my Charlotte Tilbury. I feel like this one might be a little bit too airy because it is, if you can see, it's got a lot more give than the other brushes. The other brushes are denser. So these new brushes are not quite as dense as their previous set. I feel like this might be better for me for a powder bronzer, or maybe I would like it for face powder. We'll see. Okay, and then next here we've got the 04, and this one compares to this brush here. I personally really like the shape, and I like everything about this brush except for the way that it feels on my skin when it doesn't have any product on it. Like right now it feels soft, but yeah, see, the way that I apply my brush is I pounce it on first and then I might like buff it in, you know? So this brush pokes my cheek when I pounce it. I don't like it at all for that. I haven't tried it for, maybe I would like contour with it. I'll try this for contour now that I picked up a contour palette, and I'm going to be using that today for the first time. Anyway, this does feel really, really soft for blush, and it does not feel pokey in the slightest bit on my cheek. So this is going to be a great blush brush for me. I'm really excited about that. I can't get enough blush brushes in my life. Okay, and some of these brushes are going to be dirty. Excuse me. I'm sorry some of my brushes that I'm about to compare. I'm sorry that this brush coming up next is dirty. Some of these brushes have been in rotation and I haven't been able to hold out not using them before I could talk to you about them. But okay, so here is the new concealer brush. This is actually shaped very, very much like my Singe Beauty brush. Let me pull that out and show it to you. Yeah, it's literally the exact same size and shape. Ooh, and it feels softer than the Singe Beauty brush. Ooh, I think I'm really gonna like this a lot, for specifically for concealer, but I feel like it would also be good for eye base because it is so soft. And it's okay, so it's got the same like roundness and thickness of the Singe Beauty brush, but it's not quite as, it's just a little bit thinner and not quite as tall going this way. So because of that, it actually does fit really nicely on my eye. You see how it doesn't hit, that's my dog. See how it doesn't hit into my eyebrow right there, whereas this one does. It like hits my eyebrow. When I go up over my eye, it takes that whole part of my brow out with eye base. And so this is going to replace this for my eye base brush. I mean, I had already found a new eye base brush because this one was so big. I got the one that is new from Ulta. And although I do really like it, it is pretty small. So as you can see, these are basically like, you know, the Goldilocks sizes. The Singe one is the large one. The Sephora one is the perfect one. And the Ulta one is just a little bit smaller. So yeah, okay. I'm really excited to check out that concealer brush. Now, as for the eye brushes that come in the set, these are the 3 eye brushes that come in the set so that you can do a complete eye look. You've got a fluffy blender, and this is what it looks like. You've got a beautiful, like, domed little shader, like for under the eye, a perfect lower line brush. I think this one here might rival my one from Singe because it is just a little bit more dense and wide instead of, I don't know, we'll have to compare. But anyway, okay, let me show you the eye brushes compared to each other that come in the set. So in the holiday set, this is the blender brush that came with it. Right there, there's the number. And these are basically, they are different. So yeah, they are different. The head shape is a little bit different, as you can see. The height of them is just a slight bit different. The new one is a little bit more dense. The tips feel a little bit softer, and it is more pinched at the base than this one. So that's my like initial observation in comparison with that. Let's get one of the other eye brushes that comes in the set. Okay, and so next is the shader. This one here is the shader that came in the holiday set. This shader here is very different. It's more like a long flat brush, which will be really nice for like cut crease and real detailed work. You could also probably use this for concealer if you want. This is the 08 eyeshadow brush, and yeah, I think it's going to be a really nice shader brush. Like that shader brush compares with this shader brush. They're very different. The new one is like thin and long, and the other one that came in the previous holiday set is real like fluffy and a little bit fatter and shorter. So totally different application styles. And then you've got this beautiful shader brush. This is going to be perfect for I feel like this one here is going to be perfect for right underneath the eye for me. This is the 01, no, this is the 10 smudger brush. This is the number 10 smudger brush. You can see the thickness right there. His nails are not too long. It's just he likes to walk on the tile. Okay, and so there's the thickness right there and the shape. Let's just compare that one to my favorite lower lash line brush from Singe. So they are very different. The one from Sephora is more like short and stubby and way more dense and just a little bit thicker. So whereas the one from Singe is like super, super perfect for like a single line, it gives me kind of like an eyeliner shadow look. It's very thin. It's not too thin, but it's like not real thick either. This one would be thicker. So I think that the way that I would like to use these together would be I would first apply a lighter shade with this one that's thicker and buff that on really nicely. And then I would go in probably with this one here that is more detailed and line it really, really close to the lashes. And then that way I have that like slightly gradient effect of my lower lash line without having to actually like blend them out into each other. So yeah, and then I mean, you could also go back and just blend those in together with this. But yeah, I'm really excited to check out that lower lash line brush too. So, okay, let's go ahead and get started with the makeup application. Now, I did warn you, this is going to be a full-on chatty get ready with me. I'm going to do my full face. And in my community poll that I posted most recently, I asked you if you would rather see a soft, simple, elegant, neutral eye look or a more bold and dramatic eye. So if you did vote in my community poll, thank you so much for your participation. I really appreciate your feedback. And I was actually very surprised to see that once I went to bed, the bold, fun, smoky look, the dramatic, bold, fun look, when I went to bed, the dramatic, bold, fun look was in the winning by far. But by the time I woke up, the bold, dramatic, fun look was far behind in the poll. So today we're going to do a simple look, and I'm going to do that with these new makeup brushes. But first I've got to put on my makeup of the day. So let me go ahead and put on my foundation. I do have my Shop My Stash makeup right here. I'm going to be using my Shop My Stash products. I'm not going to focus too much on the makeup since I did just share that Shop My Stash with you, but if you would like to see the makeup, if you would like to see more in depth the makeup that I'll be reaching for, then I will be sure to leave that Shop My Stash up here in the eye and down below in the description box. Check that out. You just click underneath this video. There's a little section that you'll see more. Click on the more, and the whole description box will pop down, and I'll have information down there along with the link to that Shop My Stash if you want to check that out when this video is over. But all right, so in that Shop My Stash, I thought that my hold on, let me just get a sip of coffee. In that Shop My Stash, I had said that I thought maybe this might be too light for me because I had gone to the water park, but I ended up swatching it on my palette, and as you can see there, it is kind of bright on me now. So I feel like it's too light. It looks kind of like brightening for concealer even. So this light medium to olive, LM20, God, Michelle, get it together. This LM2 olive shade from About Face Beauty is too light for me now. So I'm not sure actually if, yeah, see, even this looks too light for me now. Oh my gosh. Because of that, I stopped by and picked up a new foundation. You might be wondering why I bothered to pick up a new foundation instead of just waiting for my tan to fade, but I do plan on keeping my tan for a few weeks, and I want to have a foundation that matches. Plus, my favorite foundation here is super, super affordable, so I don't mind having multiple shades in this one specifically. And yeah, so I picked up this shade here. I went up a couple of digits compared to my previous one, and hopefully it won't be too light. But I didn't want to go darker because I know I'm not going to stay that dark that long. Yeah, anyways, all right. Let me go ahead and squeeze this one out. Oh, Lord. Thought that had dried, but it didn't. just squeeze a little bit of this out and make sure that it is a good shade match before I put it all over my face. And I'm gonna go ahead and like pull it off the brush from here. I mean, put it on the brush from here. Yeah, that looks darker. I feel like, yeah, that looks significantly darker. I think that's gonna match a lot better. Okay, so let me get my hair pulled back and we'll get into the makeup. So speaking of the water park the other day, I went there with my family to celebrate. And this might be just a tad dark, but because actually I feel like it's a really, really good match. It's a little warm, but so when I pick it up, it like doesn't really go onto the brush. Like I don't see it, but I do feel it coming on. So I don't know. Whereas the other one, all the product seemed to like go right onto the head. This isn't absorbing the makeup. It's like staying on the outside of the brush. Whereas when I use this brush, the bristles like take the foundation into it and I end up having to use more. But this, like it's not going into the brush hardly. It literally feels like it's just on the outside of the bristles. And because of that, I'm not needing to use as much foundation and it's going on the skin really nicely. Okay. So when I thought that it wasn't dense enough and that it might be better for powder, I'm mistaken. It is really, really nice with liquid. I forgot to put my under makeup moisturizer on. Whoops. Wow, that's a really, really nice application. What is going on with these bristles? Like none of the foundation is in the brush hardly. It all went onto my skin and moved around nicely. There's no streaks. It's not pokey. It's really soft. Feel like this isn't going to get gunked up after just a couple of uses. I feel like I'll be able to go several more uses in between washes with my foundation brush. Whereas before, I personally couldn't use a foundation brush more than 2 times. Like the second time, it was just too gross. So by the third time, I needed a different foundation brush, which is why I had so many foundation brushes. This one, I don't think this one's going to get gross and gunked up. This is really impressive. There's something different going on with these brushes here. Like they did something with their bristles, guys. Something's happening here. Okay, so I do feel like it is a little bit dark for me, but if I would have gone a lighter shade, it would have been too light and too close to my pre-existing shades. So I think that this is good. And I am going to go to the water park like 1 or 2 more times before the summer is actually over. We're nearing the end of August. I'm just putting on a little bit of lip balm. We're nearing the end of August, so I only have a couple more weekends really to use the water park. And I just now got my season pass because I was basically too ill all summer long to go with my family the other times that they went. Yeah, so I've been really sick. Like I haven't been able to go anywhere hardly, and it's been really hard for me to even film. And in the like last 4 to 5 videos that you have seen, like those were really hard to get out because it was in between my flare-ups, let's call it, and like that's when I was able to film. But anyways, I've just been really suffering a lot, which is why I had so much fun when I went to the water park the other day. I was really scared and I almost didn't go, but I was like, okay, I'm going to use the concealer brush. See, look, this isn't all gunked up either. I literally just touched a whole big blob of concealer with it, and it's not like, okay, now there it is. Let's just see. But it's not like taking over the brush. Ooh, and it fits perfectly without being too wide that it goes into my eye. Whenever I've used that Singe Beauty concealer brush or any of my other larger concealer brushes, I have to go into my like eyeball right here where like you get sleep eye or whatever, where you get sleep boogers that bunch up. I usually will get concealer that dips into my eye from there, but not with this one. This one went perfectly into this area and didn't like dump it into my eye. Oh my gosh, this is amazing. This concealer brush feels so soft on my skin. And it is blending out my product beautifully. There is no scratchiness. It's not too big. It's not too small. It's just right. Wow. Okay. I'm really, really impressed. Super, super impressed so far. Highly, highly, highly impressed with these brushes. Okay, look at that. Normally, after I've put concealer on a brush, now that's because I like smeared it or whatever, and I didn't end up using that side when I blended the rest in. But the part that I used, you can see that there's no concealer like gunked up on the edge. So that means that I will be able to use the concealer brush for probably the whole week long without having to pull another concealer brush before I end up washing them by the weekend. Wow. Okay, Sephora really did something with their new bristles. Something's going on. They pulled some sort of like magic with their new bristles. They're really nice. They're my best bristles that I have so far as not absorbing product. I feel like these bristles actually, I'll bet you anything that these are the same style of bristles that Rose and Ben brushes have, because Rose, when she's using those brushes, she talks about how the product doesn't go into the brush at all. And I feel like that's exactly what's happening with these Sephora bristles too. And I don't have any Singe Beauty face brushes, but I do have that one that's the concealer brush. And that one does get really, really gunky after just 2 uses. So I don't think that those bristles are the same. Like, I think that they're more normal, like to where they do kind of absorb some product. But yeah, these new brushes are performing so much better than the holiday set that I picked up and like their regular standard brushes. So I'm so excited about that. All right. What am I going to be doing today as far as a look? Oh yeah. So I have this new contour palette. Do I want to try this today? Yeah, I'm going to use my new contour brush. So let's just see. I'm going to try this for the very first time. I haven't even taken a photograph of it. Okay, actually, I'm going to wait on this. I want to use that with brushes that I already know. So I'm going to use this with a product that I already know. I'm going to use this with my Charlotte Tilbury bronzer, and I'm going to use the darker shade for bronzer and the lighter shade that I have, which is shade 1, this one right here. I'm going to use this shade as a contour. So I'm going to take this brush as contour, which makes me a little sad because it might be too dirty then to use for blush, but maybe I'll be able to. We'll see. Yeah, see, normally when I do this on my brush, you can see a ton more product. Like, this does have some product that it's picking up, you can see. But, okay, here we go. Oh, wow. And it doesn't put it on like super, super intense. It like blends it out already when it applies. Whoa. Guys, these brushes are incredible. Oh my gosh, look at that. It's perfectly blended. Sorry, I was using the viewfinder to put it on. It's perfectly blended when I apply it. Oh my gosh, that looks stunning. This is a cream product, okay? And it's like more of like a whipped mousse. Normally it goes on super, super heavy, and then you got to blend it out. Or you got to go on really light. But like, I went in hard, okay? I'm going in hard and a lot. And let's just see, okay? Look at how beautifully that applies. It didn't like put it on in a super dark like bunch like normally it does with my other brushes, and then I have to go in and try really hard to blend it. This applies it in a more like blended manner. Oh my God, this brush is blowing my mind. I am so glad that I took a chance and ordered these brushes the second I saw them launch in the app. I actually got these the second they released, and they came out in like the early access for the app. And I got them right away, but then I forgot to use them for you. So it took me a little bit to get to this video. I apologize about that. Plus, especially because I've just been not feeling very well. Yeah, so I was going to tell you about what happened to me at the water park. Okay, do I want to use, I'm going to use the same brush. I'm going to use the same brush for my darker bronzer because, well, but this isn't, this says blush and bronzer. I'm going to use it for blush. So, okay. This O3 powder, I feel like I really should try it for powder. I feel like y'all would really want that. So let me just go ahead and use my typical bronzer brush. And you can see, you'll see how hard like this goes in one spot and then I have to blend it out. And this is me like barely tapping it. Okay. Like these kind of diffuse too when it applies, but not as well as the new ones are. Like those are just like, whoa. Okay, so this is my darker shade and this one is more warm, whereas the other one is more cool tone. So I feel like this is a good one to use for that like bronzed effect. Okay. Because I have this really great contour blush that won't leave super dark patches on the bottom, I'm going to actually take it and contour like the bottom of my face. Let's just see how it works. And I want to just do this part right here that like sticks out a lot. Oh my gosh, it blends it out beautifully. I am so blown away by these brushes. Wow. I don't normally blend down my neck, but I'm doing it for you for the sake of this video. All right. So I'm going to just take the powder brush clean and just softly blend that in. Same with the bronzer. I'm just going to buff those in together. And normally I would feel weird about going in to a powder after I've used this on cream, like to buff it out like that. But because I feel like these bristles don't really hold on to the product, I'm just gonna do a soft little like wipe-a-roo just to make sure I don't have any cream on here, and then get my face dark where I want to powder it down. So, okay, here's the test. Like, let me do a blush first. So we've got that contour on this brush. I'm gonna go ahead and just wipe it off. Yeah, a lot of product is coming off, so you just can't see it on there. I'm not sure that I want to use this now for blush because it's dirty. I could see me wanting two of these, one for contour and one for blush. And I would just have to like figure out how to be able to tell the difference as to which one I use. Because yeah, there's a lot of makeup in here. You just can't see it all gunked up. So that's, I don't know what's going on with that. That's crazy to me, but all right. I'm not going to use that brush for powder. I'm going to just move on. I feel like I did clean it off enough, though, that I can do blush. I'm going to be using a new blush that I've never used today. I picked up this really pretty Essence Pure Nude Baked Blush. Wait. This is wide open. Doesn't look like it's ever been touched. All right, let's hope for the best. I'm going to use this and hope that, oh, it does really pick up. So, oh, that is a pigmented blush. So once I pounce it on, it does let me blend it out beautifully. Wow, that's really nice. And I forgot to set my concealer, so it's kind of sticking there on my concealer line. It's hard for me to remember what to do when I'm like talking through stuff because I can't talk and do things at the same time. At least not really, really well. Which you've probably noticed if you've been watching my channel for a while. I kid. Anyway, all right. So I do really like the way this brush works. This brush works for blush. Look at my contour. My contour has never looked so good when I've used that Charlotte Tilbury. It's the brush. Wow. Okay. I do feel like I need to blend out like my cheeks and everything. So I am going to use this big powder brush with my Huda Beauty. And before I get powder all in the air, let me take my final sip of coffee because after that, I'm not going to want to drink it. It's gonna get powder in it. Actually, that's not true. I'm gonna cover it with my palette. Okay. So the brush head fits really nicely in here, and it is picking up product, even though it's got this like annoying net thing. Feels beautiful on the skin as a powder brush, and it does like start to fluff up. That's my dog snoring. I apologize if that bothers you. Oh, I really like the way this applies powder. It's like not too heavy. It is more detailed than this one. And had I known that this brush set here was going to come out, maybe I would have waited to buy this big one. But honestly, I've been wanting this one since it released. It's just so big and fluffy. And I love, 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 love a big, thick, fluffy brush. Even if I don't use it all that often, and like sometimes I use other brushes for my powder, I still just love owning them and holding them in my hand. And playing with them and fluffing their brush heads. Okay, so that is a beautiful powder application. That set my face so, so nicely. Wow. I'm blown away by these brushes, guys. I'm just looking here in my mirror. Yeah, I feel like this was money really, really well spent. Love these new brushes from Sephora. Okay, I'm really excited now to get into my eye look. So let's go ahead and do that. I am playing with a new paint pot today in the shade Painterly. Excuse me. I used to use the shade Soft Ochre, and it is a little bit more yellow toned, which matches like my skin a little bit better. It's more of like a brightening on my eye. But I like the way that the colors of eyeshadows look on the Painterly, which is a little bit more cool tone. So I switched to that one instead. Ooh. Hey, where's that brush that I was just showing you from Ulta? There it is. Okay. So honestly, maybe I should use that concealer brush. Where did I put it? I mean, it doesn't feel like there's a bunch of stuff on it. I'm going to use the concealer brush because I'm going to use the concealer brush for my eye base because I want to see how it works. And I want to show you. So let me just wipe it off on a clean spot of my... Ooh, there's a lot of concealer on this. So yeah, it does pick up product a lot. I don't know what I was talking about before. You just can't see it. It just doesn't get all like gunky and gross. So you can like keep using it. All right, so I feel like that's wiped off enough. I'm going to use this for the eye base now. First touch. All right, let's see how this works. Not enough picked up. Okay, yeah. Oh, that feels so nice. Okay, it doesn't feel quite as soft on the eyelid as it did under my eye, but it fits perfectly and blends out the product while it applies it. Normally I apply and then have to get a different brush to kind of like smooth it out because, you know, all the product stays at the top of the bristles or whatever. But this put it on and blended it out nicely. And it didn't like pick up too much where it gets like super caked on. And I mean, I spun it around as much as I normally do. But there's something pretty magical about these bristles. I haven't quite figured out what it is that they've got going on with them yet, but I can tell that they put makeup on exquisitely. These bristles like blend everything out the second everything goes on. So it's like making my job so much easier. I feel like that's going to make makeup application a lot faster too. All right, let's get into the eye brushes. Let me find them. Okay, so we only have 3 eye brushes in this set and the eyebrow brush. I'm going to be creating a look with the Naked palette today, and I want to try to do a slightly different look than before, which is going to be a little hard since there's only like 2 mattes. Before I said there was 3 mattes. I thought that this one on the end was a matte, but it's not. It's like a satin. So anyways, all right, I'm gonna just do my simple go-to look from this palette, and I'm gonna start off with the fluffy brush here into the lightest matte. Let me just make sure that I didn't get any creases while I was doing all that. All right. I do really like that brush. Now this is where it might get a little tricky, because I usually like my brushes to lay down a ton of pigment and not put stuff on really softly. And these brushes all seem to be applying everything like really softly and already blended out. So it's like kind of already doing the blend out for me, and it's applying the look in a more blended manner as opposed to really punchy to where then I have to go in and blend it out. I feel like for most people, that's going to be a positive thing. For me, it might take a little adjustment because I really, really like punchy pigment at the first, and then I decide how much I want to blend it out. But this one already blends it out. And I mean, it's really nice for a quick, easy go-to. Like a quick, easy look out the door. These brushes just like make everything so smooth and soft and blended out. Okay. Pretty happy with these brushes so far. I'm going to keep the look really, really simple like y'all voted on, and I'm just going to put a really pretty shimmer across the lid. Now, I want to see how it works on these softer shades. So this one here that I was a little disappointed in, I don't want to use the same shade as before. I'm going to go into this color here. I'm going to use Sin on my lid first, on like the inner part of my eyelid. Picked up a lot of product. Oh, whoa. This is not how beautifully my other brushes applied this shade. Wow, it was so soft. Well, actually, it might have, but it just it's like already smooth and blended out, whereas before it applied it kind of chalky. Like my other brushes that I used applied this shade kind of chalky, and then I had to blend it out really smoothly. This is already giving me that smooth, blended out look. Holy moly, this is my new favorite lid shader brush. This is incredible. Okay, now I just want to see what it does on this other one. Keep in mind, I haven't even sprayed. I feel like I should have laid this one down separately, but let's just see if it'll then apply it. Yeah, it does. It applies it over it nicely and just intensifies the sparkle. I probably should have put that on the inner instead of the outer, but I was a little distracted with just the fact that I'm like wowed by these brushes. Okay, that's really nice. Now I'm just gonna blend that into the crease. Keep it all fluffed together. Now I'm going to use the lower lash line brush with the darker shade here. I'm going to just line that here at the back of the eye real softly, because I'm going to try to keep the look simple. I'm not really trying to go for like a wing or anything like that. This is a little bit thick for my lower lash line for me to use on such a dark shade. So I probably should have used the lighter shade, the same one that I put in the crease. But I just really wanted to be able to see how thick it applies, and so I figured the darker one might be better. Okay, this is not going to be my favorite go-to for the lower lash line, just because it's like so dense. It doesn't feel scratchy, but because it's so dense, I feel like I can really feel the bristles. It doesn't hurt, and it's not scratchy or pokey. They are soft and smooth, but like my Singe Beauty brush, I don't feel it. It's just like it glides across, and it might be because it's just so thin. But there's what it looks like. So let's use the same brush to see what kind of a top lash smoky I can get and see if it's too thick or whatever for your liking. I'm going to use this, dark shade here. Let's see how thick this looks. And I'm trying to keep it close to the lash line just for like a smoky liner. I usually like to do the front part a thinner line, so the fact that this brush is so thick made it a little bit harder, but I feel like this is actually the perfect size for a smoky liner at the top. Because when I use my Singe Beauty brush that I love so much for the lower lash line, it's too thin for the top unless I'm trying to do just like a straight up line. But when I'm trying to do something soft and smoky, this is literally my new favorite top lash line smoky eye smudger, like for a shadow, like a shadow liner, you know? So, okay, let's go ahead and finish that out here. I do really, really like this brush. It might be a little bit too big for my lower lash line, for my personal, oops, wrong side, wrong shadow. For my personal liking, but I do really like the way that it fits perfectly on my upper lash line. And it might be fine for my lower lash line if I just didn't go in with such a dark look. Okay, let me look. Actually, no, I do think that I like the size of the smudger. So it's not too thick for me personally. Here's what it looks like. All right, there's that. So that's it for the look. Really, really simple, like I said. Now let's do the brows. I'm gonna check out the spoolie. Okay, so this spoolie isn't quite as intense as the old spoolie. Like the old spoolie, I have dust on it, like dog hairs and stuff. Hold on. The old spoolie is like really hard and stiff. This one is stiff, but not as hard. Like it doesn't feel quite as wiry. This one feels a little bit wiry, which is probably why it moved my brows so much, because I have because I have really thick, unruly brows. But they have been getting thinner because of my health issues that I'm going through right now. So anyways, I do like the way this spoolie looks. And you can see that I've got like some bald patches happening in my eyebrows because I'm losing my brows since I'm like so ill right now. But I'm going to put on, I want to use this with a powder brow. So I'm going to do a powder brow to check out this brush. So this is what the tip looks like. Let me compare it real quick to the other end and see. Oh yeah, big difference. So the older one is a little bit frayed. You can tell that the bristles have separated just a little bit. And it is pretty nice and thick, like thin, but it's really stiff. And this new one is a little bit longer bristles, so it's got just a little bit more softness and give, but it is also very stiff, but it feels a lot softer at the tip, whereas this one feels more of like textured at the end, but not scratchy, but just textured. This one feels really smooth, like silkier. So there's my first impressions on the difference. Let's see how it applies powder. Let's see how it applies eyeshadow to my brows. Yeah, I can already tell that it's not such an intense, like when it touches the powder, it's not such a intense brush head. It's a lot softer. Okay, let's see. Wow. This is really nice. Really, really nice. It's not too intense. Like the other one, the eye brush set, the brow brush that came in the holiday set, the application of the powder was just a little bit too intense, just a little bit. And so then I would go out with the spoolie and like blend it out. But this one, it's applying it softly yet pigmented. And much like all the other brushes, it's like blending it out. It's giving it like an already blended application. There's something pretty magical that they did with these new bristles that they've got going on, and I'm totally here for it. I really, really enjoy these brushes so far. I feel like this is gonna, I feel like this whole brush, okay, hold on. Let's just finish the brows and then I'll go into telling you how I feel about the brushes. All right. What do we think? Oh, God. Okay, there's my brows. What do you think? I really like it. And I have to say, I do like the new brow brush better than the old one. So that's surprising. Okay. Okay, you guys, so I've officially used all of the brushes now. Here they are. I've used every single one of them. And I have to say that I truly do see a massive, I mean, okay, it makes it sound like the other brushes weren't very good. They were really, really, really good Sephora brushes. But they've done some sort of a major improvement on their bristles and the way that the brushes apply the makeup is incredible. I don't have any brushes in my collection, not my BK Beauty brushes, not my Fude brushes, not my Smashbox brushes, not my Luxie brushes, not my Sigma brushes, not my Real Techniques brushes, and not even my other Sephora Pro brushes apply my makeup as well as these do. I literally want every single brush that they have from this collection, and I'm going to end up picking up the rest of them. So let me show you now what they look like in the brush like the brush bag, just so that you can see. They fit really nicely, and there's still room at the top so they don't get smushed. And this makeup bag fits, you know, a pretty good amount of makeup, as you can see the size of it there. So yeah, I feel like this is going to be a really great makeup bag. You can throw your brushes in there if you're the kind of person that throws your brushes in with your makeup. I used to be that kind of girl, but I'm not like that anymore. Now I carry my brushes in a separate little bag inside of my makeup bag so that the bristles are more protected. But yeah, these brushes are an absolute win. I am completely blown away and impressed, and I feel like my makeup looks really nice. I mean, the color of the blush is a little intense, but that's the actual color of the blush. It's not because the brush is applied too much. And the color of the foundation might be a little bit dark, but that has nothing to do with the way that the foundation brush applied it. And so, yeah, this, if there's any brush here that I say is an absolute must-have, okay, of this set, if you're picking them up individually, which I would suggest just picking up the sets because you get the beautiful little brush bag and they come, you know, in a slightly more affordable manner that way. But from this total brush collection set, it's called the Total Collection, even though it doesn't have every single brush that they own. I mean, it doesn't have every single brush from their line. It doesn't totally include it all. But I think what it means by total is you can do a total makeup application with this brush set here. So from this brush set here, every single brush is a standout and like has surpassed all my other brushes as far as the quality of how they apply my makeup and the performance of them and the joy in using them, plus the results. But as far as like, if I had to pick my most top revered brushes from this set alone, I would say it is the foundation brush. I would say it's the 01 foundation brush, the 04 contour brush, the 02 concealer brush, and the 08 eyeshadow brush. Those are my favorites of this whole set, but this whole set is my favorites of all my brushes now. That's a bold statement. I mean, there's like a couple of one-offs here and there that like have a different kind of function that I would, you know, love equally or whatever. But like, as far as my everyday makeup routine, these are going to be my new go-to brushes. My Sephora Pro collection had surpassed my BK Beauty brushes, which used to be my favorite go-tos for my face. But these are better than the BK Beauty brushes, in my opinion. No offense to BK Beauty. I love BK Beauty, and I love my BK Beauty brushes. But I like that you can walk into a store and pick these up. Actually, I don't know if the brush sets are available in store. I haven't gone to look, but I got them shipped to me when they first released in the app. But I like that they sell these both individually and as a set. They're a lot more affordable than the BK Beauty brushes as far as a set is concerned. I love that it comes with this really, I'm sorry, I bumped the camera. I love that it comes with this really great matching bag. And yeah, I'm so glad that I picked up these brushes. I really, really love them so much. So, all right, let me go ahead and just finish out the look with a little bit of mascara. Today I'm going to go in with the Fireworks mascara. I didn't even get a chance to go in and I didn't even get a chance to tell you about the embarrassing moment that I had at the water park, which is what I was planning on doing with the Chatty Get Ready With Me. But because I was so focused on the new brushes, I was talking all about those. So I'm going to have to save that story for the next Chatty Get Ready With Me. But I'm just going to add a little bit of mascara, and then this look is done. Well, and lipstick. I want to add a new lipstick, so definitely want to use one of my, I picked up some new liquid lipsticks, and I definitely want to try that out today. I like this one little bald patch there. Okay. Because I'm going for like a simple natural look kind of for during the day, I'm going to use my pearly, like skin colored waterliner brushes. I mean, waterliner eyeliner, my skin colored shadow sticks. Okay. And then lastly, let me pick a lip. Actually, I've had this lipstick there for a super long time, like at least 8 months, and I've never tried it. And I went and picked up a bunch of cool toned lip liner. I mean, I went and picked up a liquid lip the other day and ended up with a couple of them, and was looking for a real cool toned color, and I couldn't find one. And then when I got home to add my new ones to my collection, I completely forgot that I had this one here from, I think it's NYX. That might be why I hadn't been apt to use it, but I'm gonna at least try it. I can't, if I can open it, just bust it through. There we go. I think a lot of people like these. I'm not really sure. I've never tried one before, so let's just see what it's all about. I have no idea what the shade is. Maybe it's written right there. I'm not sure. Can't see that well without my reading glasses on. So I'll have to look afterwards and put it down in the description box. Because yeah, this isn't, ooh, this smells rotten. Maybe it just smells like that. I don't know. Okay, let's try it. Wipe off the lip balm that I had. Ooh, that's a fun color. I have been wanting a really cool tone lip, and I haven't been able to find one, and it's literally been sitting here in my makeup collection the whole time. If I remember correctly, I got this for like, I don't know, $6 or less. It was on clearance, and I decided to check it out. And then I never used it. Okay. I do really like it, but it's really different for me. Let me add a lip liner and see if that'll help. I feel like the obvious one to use is going to be my MAC Stone. Sorry for shaking the table. I feel like the obvious one to use is going to be my MAC Stone because it's the most cool tone one. I should have done the lip liner first because it's like having a hard time going over the liquid lip. And I don't even think you can see it on the liquid lip, so I don't even think it matters. Okay. So here is the finished look of the day. Hold on. So here is my finished look of the day for today's casual chatty get ready with me with my naked palette, making another look, creating another look with you today. Let's take a good look at the makeup. I think it turned out okay. I'm not really sure about this color lip. I feel like I need a more bold, dramatic eye look. So yeah, I think that's what's missing. Let's just step it up a notch. Hold on. I want to see what this blender will do with a really, really dark shade, or the darker one anyway. So let's just try it. I'm going to try to add a little bit of this darkness to my outer corner. Let's just see how it applies. I feel like it did amp it up a little bit, but again, this blender like applies everything already blended and really softly, so it's not giving me the like super punchy pigment that I personally prefer. But I feel like this is going to be a preference for most people, because most people like to build up their intense color first instead of just like going in Padow and then being like, F, now I gotta blend it out. I really want to go in Padow and be like, F, now I gotta blend that out. Anyway, I do like the way that it intensified the smokiness without leaving it in a patchy spot. So, okay, I just ate my words. I do love this blender. It is a preference now for me. Maybe not for my crease work, but for like adding the smokier color. I actually do like the way that it worked for the crease too. I don't know what I'm talking about. This is a great blender. This is a great blender. I really do like it. And yeah, I like the look a little bit more now that I added that little bit of smoky exterior. So yeah, here's the finished makeup look of the day. Hold on, wait. So here's the finished makeup look of the day with the new Sephora Pro Collection Total Face Brush Set. I'm highly impressed with them. I hope that this video was helpful and informative or entertaining for you in any kind of way. But yeah, I really do hope you enjoyed the video. I had so much fun playing with this makeup today and creating this look with you and checking out these beautiful new brushes. I'm so excited to have them in my collection, and to be quite honest with you, I'm looking forward to picking up some of the others. Definitely the face brushes are like, ooh, top notch. The eye brushes are really, really nice too. Like the eye brushes are top notch too. Honestly, this whole set is just, mwah. This brush set is just so good. I'm just so here for it. I'm highly impressed with these brushes. I think that you're gonna love them if you try them. Yeah, let me know if you end up picking one or any of the sets and how you feel about it once you've used it. I really hope that you love them as much as I do. I think that you will. Yeah, I really feel like Sephora did a really great improvement with their brushes, and that's kind of a bold statement because their brushes were really, really good already, but they have improved by far. Like that shader brush is just, ooh, I can't wait to use these brushes like all the time now. Anyways, let me give you a good look at the eye look. And be sure to let me know what you think of this new filming setup. Not my backdrop. My backdrop's been up for a couple of weeks already. And thank you so much for all of your sweet comments on my new backdrop. I really appreciate that. But let me know what you think about this lighting setup and the position of the camera, because I basically got you like right here in my face. Instead of having to try to zoom you in afterwards, and I wasn't able to really get close because the camera was set up so far away from where I was sitting. Now it's literally like right here where I do my makeup. So let me know if you like this closer viewpoint more, or if you'd like for me to go back to the previous settings where I kind of scoot you back a little bit more. Anyhow, that's going to do it for today's video. I really hope you enjoyed. I had so much fun playing with these new brushes, and I love the way that my makeup look turned out. So I hope you had fun too hanging out with me. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for including me as part of your day and hanging out with me. I really do appreciate it. I had so much fun playing with my new makeup brushes. They're really, really incredible and amazing, and I can't wait to pick up more. I'm gonna wait for the Sephora sale because the Sephora collection is 30% off for Rouge during the Sephora sale. So I really hope that that includes the brush sets too, because I'll pick up a couple of more of the brush sets just so I can have duplicates and another one of the little makeup bags. So yeah, I'm super, super excited about this. I'm super, super excited about this upgrade that Sephora did on their brushes. I think they knocked it out of the park. It's really, really good, totally worth the money, and definite thumbs up in my book. Speaking of thumbs up, if you enjoyed today's video, I would love for you to click the like button if you enjoyed, because it really does help my small channel out so much. So yeah, that's going to do it for today's video. I really hope you enjoyed. And yeah, before you go, make sure you're subscribed to my channel and click the notification bell so you don't miss any of my future uploads. And I'll see you in the next video. Bye.